So just the other day, Disney revealed all the brand new details on their new ship, Disney Treasure, that's debuting late next year. So let's dive in and take a look. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon. If you like cruise news, cruise vlogs, and ship tours, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Anyways, let's jump right in. So as I mentioned, Disney Cruise Line unveiled all the new details on Disney Treasure, their new ship, part of the Triton class, or a sister ship to Disney Wish, that debuted last year in 2022. This one will be basically identical with just a few little twists here. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what we've got. And of course, up on the pool deck, we have the Aqua Mouse will be returning, like we see on Disney Wish. That will now be on Disney Treasure, but now with a big twist to it. It's essentially the same thing, but it's themed differently. With Disney Wish, it's got all of the LED screens on the inside of it, as if you're going through like a little Disney animated cartoon almost. And the same thing is here, but this one's more themed towards treasure hunting, which is really cool, fitting the name of Disney Treasure. So if you can kind of see in this photo here and some of the renderings, there's more, treasure hunting vibes that you're getting as you're going through the Aqua Mouse, which is really, really cool. Part of their announcement was that Beauty and the Beast will be the big live show that they do on board the ship. So if you're a big Beauty and the Beast fan, this is going to be really cool for you. Basically just, almost like a Broadway show you would normally see on, say, Royal Caribbean or anything like that. And then they also have a place called Sarabi, which is a Lion King themed lounge where there's a little bit of entertainment. They do comedy acts, family game shows, things like that. So a little bit of stuff there as far as the entertainment side. They also have the Hero Zone, which is the kids play obstacle course thing. It's like a giant blow-up bouncy house almost that fills an entire room, and they can go up and just play around in it, go down the little slides on it. It's Incredibles themed, so it's got all the Incredible characters and theming around it, which is really neat. Sticking on more of the kids-focused theme right now, we have the Small World Nursery, which is for the little ones between 6 months and up to 3 years. So if you have very young ones that are cruising with you, you do have an option there. Some cruise lines don't have stuff for, children that young, but really cool that Disney does have that. Not surprised being Disney, but it is cool to have. Then we also have the Imagineering Lab, which is for ages 3 to 12. Just basically your typical kids club. And then Vibe is from 14 to 17. And the Edge Lounge is for the tweens between 11 to 14. Again, and these are all just basically your standard kids clubs or teen clubs, things like that. Of course, with the Disney twist to it. Now we'll skip over to the staterooms that we have here on board. We just have your typical inside ocean view, veranda or balcony staterooms. And then we also have the concierge, which is basically the suites that we have on board. Everything is pretty much your typical room from what it seems like. Disney does usually have bigger staterooms than normal, or just a little bit bigger. Not by a whole lot, so you won't notice too much of a difference. But when it comes to the suites, we have, a couple, one, sometimes 2 bedroom suites. And of course, we also have the 2-story royal suite that's found in the funnel at the front of the ship. That one's really cool. That one is also found on Wish. So this is another one of those 2-story cabins or 2-story suites that are returning from Disney Wish. Jumping over to the dining options that we have here on board Disney Treasure, we have Fiesta on the High Seas, which this restaurant is themed around the Plaza of Santa Cecilia, which is from the movie Coco, which came out a couple years ago in 2017. So this is a Coco festival themed restaurant on board, which is really neat. Didn't really go a whole lot into, menus and things like that. But of course, being that it is Coco, it is most likely some Mexican food, since Coco essentially is about the Day of the Dead over in Mexico and that festival. So it'll be very highly themed around that, and food's probably centered around that as well. Is the Worlds of Marvel. It's basically just a Marvel-themed dining experience. And then we have one of the more elegant and more formal restaurants. It is 1923, basically just a very old school dining themed experience. So if you're looking for more of a formal dining experience here on Disney Treasure, 1923 might be the restaurant for you. It did get its name because that was the year that Disney Animation was founded, so that's a really cool little Easter egg there. Disney is never short of those when it comes to some of their ships. Then, of course, we have just your standard buffet, basically. Then we also have Jimbo's Sweets, which is basically an ice cream shop, from what it seems like, that is themed around Zootopia, which is really neat. This one you'll have over 30 flavors of gelato, ice cream, and just a couple specialty treats, candy, things of that nature. So basically a sweet ice cream shop, which is really awesome. Always has my attention, that's for sure. And then we have a couple cafes on board. One is the Jade Cricket Cafe. This one is more centered around Mulan, or the movie Mulan. So that one's more, China, ancient China themed around that movie mostly. And then we also have the Hey Hey Cafe, which is centered around Moana, which, the South Pacific Islands type of vibe with those restaurants, or with that specific cafe. So that's really cool. And then, of course, just coming down to more of the technical specs of Disney Treasure, she's going to be identical to Disney Wish, the second of 3 Triton-class ships. It's the Triton class, not the Wish class, which is kind of a weird twist. Usually they name the class after the first one in the fleet. But we have Triton 2, which is now Disney Treasure, and she's going to be about the same size, not too much different there. When it comes to gross tonnage, we're looking at about 140,000 tons. So if you're looking for a reference, we're looking about just a little bit bigger than Royal Caribbean's Voyager class. Right around the same size tonnage-wise as Norwegian Prima in the Prima class from Norwegian Cruise Line. So about that size, a mid-sized ship, a very good size, honestly. I always like ships that are in that range. Between 140 to 160, 170 is a perfect size ship, in my opinion at least. But of course, I always love the Oasis class, which are the mega ships. But about 140,000 tons, 2,500 guests, which is pretty good. For a ship that size, 2,500 is pretty awesome, not going to lie. And of course, this is going to be powered by liquefied natural gas, just like her sister Disney Wish. These are the only 2 ships in the Disney fleet as of right now, of course, because we have one more in the Triton class that comes out in 2025. Unless that's been delayed. I'm not 100% sure if that has been delayed or not. But those 3 ships are all going to be liquefied natural gas. Now we get to where Disney Treasure will be sailing. Disney Treasure will be sailing the 7-night Caribbean voyages from Port Canaveral, from Cruise Terminal 8 in Port Canaveral, which is Disney's terminal. So as of right now, we have Disney Fantasy, the second ship in the Dream class is currently doing that. So it's likely that she will be replacing Disney Fantasy. We don't know exactly where Disney Fantasy is going to be going. It's similar to how the Wish replaced the Dream. Wish moved down to Miami, did some sailings out of Miami for a while, went over to Europe, and now Disney Dream, I believe, is going over to Fort Lauderdale or back to Miami. But it's likely that we're going to be doing a little bit more adventurous voyages now with Disney Fantasy. It seems like usually once the first ships come in and the new class, usually the older class or the outgoing class is going to be doing more adventurous voyages. That's kind of what we saw with the Disney Magic and the Wonder back when the Disney Dream and Fantasy first came out. Those 2 took over the 3 and 4 night cruises and the 7-night cruises from Port Canaveral, where the Magic and Fantasy the Magic and Wonder were doing. And then those started doing Alaska voyages, Europe voyages. They even sailed out of Galveston for a while, New Orleans. So more adventurous home ports really than just Port Canaveral, which of course I love Port Canaveral. There's nothing wrong with it. It's more of just, you're not just getting your typical Bahamas and Caribbean sailings. You're getting more, you're getting Alaska, Europe, West Coast cruises, things like that. So it is really neat. Anyways, what are your thoughts on Disney Treasure? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you plan on sailing on her? I would definitely love to. I'm still trying to sail on Wish, but of course, Disney being Disney, the prices are very expensive. So I'm sure it'll be even crazier with a brand new ship on 7-night itineraries. But I am interested. I would like to go at some point. If you did like today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below to continue following along all of our videos here. We have an upcoming cruise on Allure of the Seas. So we'll have a ship tour, lots of information on that ship, and of course our weekly ship spotting videos where we go out to Port Canaveral and watch ships like the Disney Wish, and of course late next year we'll be seeing the Disney Treasure, along with several others sailing out of Port Canaveral. So I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.